Welcome back. Hope all is well. It's Wayne. Let's talk some games. This one's going to be a little different because I want to get into something more personal. And today's topic is going to be my relationship with Nintendo because I understand personally that I'm the minority of the minority when it comes to the Nintendo community and gamers as a whole. And I want to be self aware and forthcoming with that moving into this new year because with the Switch 2 era, my main goal was to not only get more games and get the games I want, but also expand and diversify my library. We got a lot of great third party support, and the first party games have been trickling in at a really calm, steady pace. And I've been pacing myself accordingly, really enjoying the experience for what it is and playing a lot of things I never really had the chance to get into as a kid, or that type of games I really looked over and glossed over. And with the new social aspect that the Switch 2 allows us with game chat, I've been able to interact with the community and overall. And I think it's a great experience. And now is a great time to go into it now that we're almost a year since release. And I've had some time to marinate and get comfortable with my situation and setup, you know what I'm saying? So to start it off, I guess, first and foremost, if you haven't caught on by now, I'm a Pokemon fan. Pokemon's my baby, one of my goats. It's always been there for me, like way back when I was a kid. Like, always had a Game Boy, always had Pokemon on deck, leveled up. Handheld gaming is nostalgic for me, but like, it's kind of always been there in addition to the consoles I had at the crib. So like, growing up, we had the PlayStations in the crib, we had the Xbox in the crib, GameCube, later 360. Later, I had my P4, did my own thing. The P4 era and the Switch era for me was when I was really like getting into adulthood, like my early 20s-ish. So like moving around, working, having my own thing going on in a fast-paced city. I ended up selling the P4 because there was a time where I was like working 2 jobs, living life, also doing the music. So my nightlife was filled up too. I wasn't really home. And if you're not home to play the console, you're not really home to play the game. The original Switch, first I had a Switch Lite, and then I got the Switch OLED, and then I moved. No, I'm lying. I had the Switch Lite, then I got the OLED Pokemon Edition, and now I have that in the Switch 2. So this is with me with the Switch Lite going into like the Switch 1. That made commuting in between work and like just being able to pull it out at the parties and in between my downtime a lot easier for gaming. And so I never really lost that feeling of handheld gaming. Pokemon's always been there. Like, yeah, like you could say what you want about Pokemon, but the reason I could put it up there for one of my goats is not only for the simple fact that I grew up with it. Like, I just finished having my 29th birthday a couple months ago, and Pokemon just finished its 30th anniversary. So literally, like, I grew up with it, always had it. Like, I've played every mainline Pokemon game. I've played most of the spin-offs in my life, aside from Pokemon Troze, Pokemon Dash, and Rangers Shadows of Almia. But I did play the original Rangers, which was tough. OD tough. Oh, and I skipped Guardian Signs, I think. That's what it's called, the third one. But I did play the original Rangers. Super tough. And Mystery Dungeon, classic. I had Blue Rescue Team. I played Explorers of Time. Fire. But yeah. And the reason I have like respect and big ups to Pokemon is not because it's the greatest game, no, but being that I've grown up with it, I've have an appreciation. Like, personally, I'm a sentimental person, and whether it's music, art, any form of entertainment or something I care about, when it comes to creativity, I take appreciation for the growth and the journey as well as the product. So in that same notion with Pokemon, like, I was in game chat chopping it up with my boys the other day, and they were they were pressing me like, yo, how could you defend Pokemon Whoop-De-Woo? And it kind of becomes like a joke because, but it's because it's like the snowball. Let me explain. So Pokemon started out, like, let's not forget, Pokemon started as a handheld game. You feel me? And they didn't start doing, like, the Pokemon company themselves didn't start taking on 3D models until the 3DS with Pokemon X. So there was a time from Game Boy all the way to the 3DS that this was like a real pocket game, Pocket Monsters. And sprite models, I know, like, we have the nostalgic feeling for sprites and the animations when they started getting the moving and color animations. I seen it all. I was there. From the green screen to the color screen to, I was there. I seen it. I played it. I've had them in my hands, And my favorite region is Gen 2. Totodile, GOAT, Espeon, GOAT. Like Gen 2 is just fire. Clearly because that was like my first Pokemon game that I really like messed with. And secondly, because the post game thus far is top tier. Like it's top 5 post games that they've dropped in the 30 years. You get to go back to the first region, you know the gist, all that, and the boss fight at the end, immaculate. Like that's where I really like locked in with it and kept it in. And the snowball is like, even from Gen 1 to 2, now we have a color screen and the sprites move at the beginning of the battle. They're shiny sprites now. Like they really like optimized color. They added a whole new typing. Like things got crazy, you know? And even just the expansion of having the 2 regions put together, it was world building. And I didn't know it back then as a kid, but world building is one of my favorite aspects of creativity. And big ups to Oda in One Piece, because that's iconic, goated. He deserves to be up there with Shakespeare. But so that's my experience with Pokemon. And it's not that I've never, as much as I love Pokemon and hold it dear to my heart, I've played other games, you know, like even on Nintendo. Like that was the only reason I was locked in with Nintendo, was for Pokemon. I never really got into Mario, Zelda. I played a little bit of Star Fox 64, classic, GOAT, bring back Star Fox. But yeah, I never really, Donkey Kong, all that, like the other IPs, I never really locked in with them. They didn't gravitate towards me because I got those experiences on other consoles, like my PlayStation or platformer, Spyro, Crash, RPGs, Final Fantasy. Like that's another thing too. Like I can admit, as much as I love Pokemon, like it's one of the greatest, like it's the greatest baby's first RPG, right? And that's where they started. Like they started as the greatest baby's first RPG. From all the elements they've taken from like Dragon Quest, different monster tamers, different, you know, but it's the great first step into the pond. But if I want a full-fledged, like committed RPG, like flushed out, I'm playing Final Fantasy, dog. I'm playing Persona. I'm playing, like there's like other games, but Pokemon is great. And like when it comes to monster taming games, it's top 3. Definitely not 2. Definitely not 3. So, and I'm saying that like, and even that, I'm a huge fan of the Digimon game, especially when they locked in like with Digimon World Dawn, and then now we have the Digimon Story series. Crazy. Like I feel like personally, side by side, Digimon, they're in the last 3 games, RPG wise, Digimon is taking the cake. But I can't deny the fact that I've had so much fun. Like I was going through, I'm jumping around a lot here, but I was going through a crazy debate when the Switch 2 like was really coming out, and it's because Pokemon Legends ZA and Time Stranger from Digimon were dropping in the same week. And I'm like, man, why didn't this get a Switch 2 announcement and stuff as well? And my inner dilemma was, because this is Bandai Namco, you know they gonna port it. They just announced that Sparking Zero is coming to the Switch 2. So you know they gonna port it. But do I have the patience? Because being that I was so into Pokemon coming up, I've been like a fan of the community for a long time. I've been an active fan, but a silent person, you know what I'm saying? I've been observing, watching around, but as of late, that's where I really just want to come off, blow off steam, because gaming's been a passion. I feel like I'm in a comfortable space to talk about it and try and like build on my thoughts with it, you know? See what's up and really connect and build with the gaming world around me. And I really just hope to learn and like just share a different perspective. So reeling it back, like I was going through a huge dilemma because I got access to the P5. Switch 2's on the way. The whole time I've been in the Pokemon community since, I want to say, when I got into like internet and Pokemon, I really, what was it? It was this Pokemon like MMO RPG we used to play on school on like little proxy sites. and then we got on Showdown for a minute, like that type beat, you know what I'm saying? And then like watching like older creators coming up. Shout out to Sacred, Shofu, Pokeaim MD. A lot of things when I was there, like I was watching, I was there. Like, so leaks and data mining in the Pokemon community, like it's so hard to avoid. And I'm proud to say that going into Legends ZA, I remain data free. Like I filtered out Pokemon from everything. I really like tapered it in because it's been so long in like my 20 some odd years of life that I've gone into a Pokemon game fresh. Before Legends ZA, the last Pokemon game I went into fresh was Sun and Moon. And that's because I got crazy spoiled during X and Y. Like, I'm not sure if y'all remember, but when like Greninja got leaked, people were jacking Greninja was a fake mon until we played the game. That's how crazy it was, right? And then funny enough, you could say he got shoehorned into it, but I think it's always funny and ironic how we all thought Greninja was like a fake leak on the side and all this other stuff. He was a fake mon. He was drafted up. People were really pulling theories left and right. I'm watching this post in real time back then. And he wins Pokemon of the Year. I think like the following year, like running right after the XYZ anime, you know, like he won a Pokemon. I'm like, yo, my boy. So going into Sun and Moon was the last time, and Gen 7 is my top 2 gens thus far. And I've played every generation, every mainline game except the ones I named earlier and the Let's Go games. But that's because personally, I'm tired of Kanto. Yes, I bought Leaf Green, but that's because it's dope to have it on the side, you know? Like, it's dope. It's cool. Throw him a little 20 for it, I'll play it. But yeah, I'm tired of Kanto personally. Like I'm over it, bro. Like I was really hoping like we get like something else. Like give us. There's so many other regions, you know, like so many other games we could remake and run through. I'm glad. That's why I'm really hyped for the Legends series. And back to the Snowball like analogy with Pokemon. It started off as a handheld game, and like it's grown with me, and I've watched it grow on through years. But like I can admit, and I'm the first to admit, when there are better games or when the conversation comes up, like, yeah, if you're able to, a lot of the slight and like negativity of Pokemon, I can understand from like a quality perspective, certain things, especially with Scarlet and Violet on release, yikes. Personally, I never went through, I think I went through one bug where like I was leaving the cave next to the Psychic Town, and I had jumped on the cave, but I had like got stuck in the wall, and then I fell through the map, right? I'm like, wow, they didn't put like a bottom layer foundation somewhere in this 3D. All right, cool. But I restarted my game, everything was cool, and that was it. So, but I did see the clips online, and part of me feels like 35 to 40% were like super milked emulated data mine clips that people geeked and tweaked, and then the other like 70 to 60% was like, oh, real bugs and real catches. So I'm like, dang, all right, I'm sorry y'all going through that, but you know, y'all are used to like, and I get it, Pokemon and the Game Freak and Nintendo, like it's a lot of bread on the table. Like Pikachu jumped over Mickey Mouse, like we up there, guys. Like we done did it. But y'all in the gaming sphere as a whole, and this is one thing like that bugs me out when it comes to the Nintendo community versus the gaming community, because in the gaming sphere as a whole, for the last like 8 years at least, we've been accustomed to games getting fixed after release. AAA games, indie games, and everything in between. So we not gonna give Game Freak a little slack right here, especially with their first full open world game. You're not gonna give them a little slack. First time's the worst time, but it only gets better from here, boys. And we made it this far. But that's just me. I might be what you call an optimist. I like to give the benefit of the doubt, but I am pragmatic and like a realist when it needs to be said. In reality, like there's been tons of games. Like, of course, you could bring up the Cyberpunk shenanigans. You could bring up the No Man's Sky shenanigans. There's tons of things in between. Even recently, Crimson Desert, dog. Come on. So even it's like, I take it, albeit it was a lot. It was a lot. But if you're looking for a full-fledged, like, open world where everything's detailed and every splint of grass is separated in the ray tracing and lighting, go play Final Fantasy. Go play God of War. Go play Uncharted. Go play the new Tomb Raider. You got options, like, and that's one thing about the Nintendo bubble that, like, mystifies me, because yeah, I understand Nintendo, one of the greatest appeals is the exclusives and their IPs, but most of my library up until the Switch 2 happened, most of it outside of Pokemon were ports that I've had from my P4 or like even 360 days way back, and that's not to say like, oh, forget this, forget that. Nah, like, they just never reached out or pulled to me as a kid, like, and then even now coming into the Switch 2, I was slighted again. And it's not because of what everybody else would be going on about shenanigans, price, and whatever, but I felt like I got gypped, because if y'all had told me y'all would make a Pokemon bundle, I wouldn't have wasted the bread on the Mario Kart World bundle. You feel me? But that was just me not being patient. And even one thing I've learned in these years with gaming for sure is that patience is your best coupon. Every time. Patience is your best coupon. Every time. So I take that on the chin. But then again, I'm also a big Pokemon fan. So I had no qualms about paying full price. And then y'all geeked on ZA and Game Freak for announcing DLC. What? And like, it's crazy because even aside from the online drama about geeking about it, even in my personal game chats, they're having the same conversation, and I'm like, what do you mean? Because I know my homies, they actually play other games, like they for sure play other games. So you're telling me this is the first time you've ever heard of DLC being pre-order ready? Like, $30, cool, but like, most of the people speaking on it didn't even play the Scarlet and Violet DLC, and that was chef's kiss, top tier post game thus far. Like, Scarlet and Violet's post game and DLC is number one, if not number two, when it comes to Pokemon post games thus far. It really set the bar, and if you take note, like, it really eased you into competitive when you get into the second half with the Indigo disc. It gives you that, for one, everything's double battle. That's the VGC format. Two, all the NPCs are somewhat competitively trained holding items. It kind of sharpens you up, even low key on a casual note. And aside for the last like 4 generations, they've made super training. It started off as a mini game when they tried to make it accessible, but since the mini game in X and Y, it's been more accessible throughout each generation, to the point now we're in Champions at the time of recording, and it's sliders. Competitive building is just sliders, and now it's accessible on a whole nother scale. So now you're able to see people who never even thought, like, even people who, it's crazy because I'm more of a battler in Pokemon, and apparently that's the minority of the Pokemon community, because from my recent experience, especially like with the Switch 2 and tapping into different groups online and socials, most people are into Pokemon just to collect and shiny hunt, and I be trying to battle. Like, I got the homies that really scrap up. I'm in a couple of like battle leagues and stuff, but outside of that's the minority apparently. Like, even in my immediate group, maybe 2 to 3 other people I've battled. The other like 4 or 5 that play Pokemon for real really just be shiny hunting and collecting. And that's cool. Everybody do your thing. Like, I shiny hunt the Pokemon I genuinely care for, or like even with Legends ZA, after I did all the missions and all that jazz, they were kind of just giving you shinies off the random. So I've made a little challenge for myself, like to make a competitively viable team with the shinies that I catch, even the ones that I don't really use, like, or Pokemon I never even thought of, like working them into different teams. And that's been fun along the way. So even looking forward into Gen 10, that's going to be a Switch 2 exclusive coming 2027. Dog, I was very much, first off, before we even get into Gen 10, let's talk about PLZA some more, because that controversy, aside from me going into it blind, right? So I'm going into it blind. I decide to really like leave my expectations on the floor and really just only go by official information from Nintendo, Game Freak. That's it. I'm not tapping into anything else. If it's not from the horse's mouth, I don't want to hear it, right? So before the drop, I understood that we would be in Lumio City. We have real-time battles, Mega Evolutions coming back, right? Dope. So I believe that the one reason that, all right, let's go through each of it. So first off, being in Lumio City, the reason that ticked off a lot of people, and understandably, you wanted to explore more of the Kalos region as a whole, and like maybe you had the expectation of Legends Arceus to where you'd at least go to different sections of the region from a hub of Lumios. Okay, cool. That would have been great. Nice. But context also means a lot. In Legends Arceus, the context was we're discovering the Sinnoh region. Like they didn't even call Sinnoh back then. You know, like they're humans are now starting to cultivate and civilize the region. So it makes sense that you got to explore, survey different parts, take notes. You're building the first Pokédex, going through the story. You're figuring out why Spear Pillar is all broken now. You get to see Spear Pillar in its full glory for the first time. Dope. Now, context, you're a tourist sightseeing a major city in the Kalos region. Me being from a major city myself, maybe it was just easier for it to click with me. But yeah, when you go visit a new state or a new country, or you go to a new city, what do? You stay in a hotel and you sightsee around the city. Now, if you were in reality to go to Paris, do you think you're gonna go through a whole Tour de France? Or are you gonna enjoy being around the Eiffel Tower, catch the ambiance, and experience and take in the city a lot? Now, main character syndrome, some shenanigans pops off. You just happen to be the chosen one on your vacation. You came to vacation, bro. Honestly, you just got caught up in the mix. RPG classic. So in context, I didn't really connect with the discourse going online because I didn't have the expectation of going to the region, because they told us we're sightseeing in Lumio City. That's the context they gave us. So the fact that we stay in Lumio City is crazy. Now, speaking on that, in the game, actually playing the game, of course, I'm gonna explore and trying to break and see what I can and can't do. So after I beat the main story, I went to the train station. And if you haven't gone to the train station and try to leave the city, it gives you a dope cutscene where it really pump fakes you like you're leaving the city. But then you wake up on the bench back in the city, right? So up until the DLC dropped, I thought like, oh, maybe the DLC is different train stations in different parts of the city, because the post game in Kalos in X and Y, I'm pretty sure you get on one of the trains and you go to like, not another whole city, but it's like another NPC town. I forgot what it was called. So I'm like, oh, that's where my headcanon theory was like crafting in the time between October and December, you know? Those little 2 months, that's where my head was at. But Nintendo didn't say anything about that. Game Freak didn't say anything about that. So when it first happened to me, I'm pretty sure I was in game chat with my boy Dari. And I'm like, oh, yo, you seen this cutscene? We're watching it. And I wake up in the bench and I'm laughing. I'm like, yo, they trolled me, bro. So boom, I'm like, yo, maybe in the DLC, we'll go to the other city. Cool. I want to say, what was it, like mid to late November, they give us another hit at the DLC and they show us like the background and it's just a distorted out Lumio. So I'm like, oh, I've never played roguelites or roguelikes, whatever they are. I haven't had an experience with them yet to my knowledge at this point, but apparently I have played them because Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, right? I didn't even know. So I can't remember at this moment which one it is, roguelite or light, but from my understanding, it's a game where you have either a dungeon or a set goal with obstacles. You try and run through without dying. When you die, you either lose power, lose upgrades, lose resources, start back at the beginning, and each floor is randomized. So there's a random element to either the dungeon setting, the enemy setting, or XYZ. And your goal is to complete the mission or objective within a time manner, or just successfully with life or XYZ, right? That's Mystery Dungeon through and through. I just thought that was another Pokemon game. You feel me? You see how, hence why Pokopia is doing so well now, right? The snowball continues. So going into the DLC, I'm like, yo, all right, okay, cool. It is what it is. We can see what's up. They show us the background of Story City. I'm like, oh, this is like what a roguelike is. My boy Celeste breaks it down to me. I'm like, all right, cool. I could get behind that. I've never tried one, but I could mess with some time trials, and it seems pretty like straightforward. It seems like replay value because it's a different mode. You could go in and challenge yourself. Then they show us that the Pokemon are over level 100. I'm hooked because now I could battle out. I'm hooked. After the DLC dropped, I ended up putting like an additional like 100 and some odd hours in that game. No cap. So yeah, I'm very much satisfied. It was money's worth. I don't care about the windows. I don't care about the fact that they're in wild zones, because the whole overall arching themes that's been going on in Pokemon in like the last couple of eras is that they're trying to integrate human and Pokemon culture and coexistence together. So it makes sense that in such a big city where things are kind of going out of control, instead of like going down different routes or like going through different like forests and things, they're trying to integrate the Pokemon into the city. There was a whole section in Legends Arceus where people are genuinely scared of Pokemon. Like they treat them as monsters for what they are. Some of that residue, or how do you say, some of that feeling still reside in character today, but it's a little less, a little more. You have the protesters, a whole bunch of things going on if you're paying attention and reading in Pokemon. And yes, I would love voice actors. That's one thing I could say about Pokemon. I don't understand because they have a whole pool of anime voice actors they could pull from. And I feel like it would go hand in hand to promote the following seasons of the anime, because everything in Pokemon trademark is based off the games. So when are we, I hope Winds and Waves Gen 10 is the day, but when are we going to get voice acting? It's not like you guys got to outsource or go crazy for outsourcing. You know, a whole bunch of well-vetted voice actors in the other room, or in the other room. I mean by like the other side of the company, you know, different department, different section. Go call the anime guys, send some, you know, double dip. But yeah, man, Legends EA was good. Like, was it the best game I've played on Switch 2 thus far? No. Right now, at the time of recording, that's going to Pragmata. Hands down. I've had the most fun with that game so far out of everything I got in my library. I'm looking forward to Time Strangers. I got that on the pre-order coming up. I know that one's going to be a doozy, bro. Like, and I can't wait to compare that to ZA, because I'm going into that one blind. I played the demo on P5, maybe 2-3 hours, but bruh, I'm gonna go into that one blind. I haven't done no homework. I haven't done nothing. I've been playing Cyber Sleuth in the meantime, so we gonna get right. I love to chop it up with y'all in the meantime. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. It's Wayne. Let's talk some games.